Section C, question number 37. A. Description and B is information transfer. Now we are going to practice description. How to write description. First question. Imagine you're Matilda. Describe your feelings after losing your friend's necklace. Describe your emotions in detail, your excitement and gratitude when you first borrowed the necklace, the shock and panic when you discovered it was missing, the guilt and regret you felt for being careless, and the anxiety about how your friend might react. Now, write a description on it. I lost my friend's necklace. The instant would leave me completely shattered and restless. When I first borrowed the necklace, I felt thrilled and grateful. It sparkled beautifully, and wearing it made me feel special, confident, and proud. I thanked my friend in my heart for trusting me with something so valuable. But everything changed the moment I discovered it was missing. A cold wave of shock ran through me, followed by panic that made my hands tremble. I searched every corner, hoping it would magically appear, but it didn't. The guilt of being careless began to rush me. I felt foolish, irresponsible, and deeply ashamed. Regret filled my mind as I imagined the trouble my mistake would cause. The worry about my friend's reaction kept haunting me. Would she forgive me? Would she lose her trust in me? The fear of disappointing her was unbearable. I felt completely helpless, torn between telling the truth and the fear of hurting a precious friendship. Now, second instant. Imagine you're Hari Singh standing alone on the deserted platform after the train has left. Describe your feelings in detail. Write about your fear, loneliness, confusion, about where to spend the night, your guilt of robbing the only person who trusted you, and the thoughts that troubled your mind as you walked through the bazaar. If I imagine myself as Hari Singh standing alone on the deserted platform after the train had left, my heart would be heavy with fear and confusion. The empty platform would make me feel completely abandoned, as if I had nowhere to belong. I would not know where to spend the night, and the thought of wandering the streets with no shelter would fill me with anxiety. I had always believed that friends were friends were more trouble than help. At that moment, the absence of a familiar face would make the loneliness even sharper. The biggest burden on my mind would be the guilt of robbing the only person who had shown me kindness and trust, Anil. As I slowly walked through the bazaar, every step would remind me of the mistake I had made. The bright lamps, busy stalls, and cheerful voices would feel distant, as if they belonged to a world I had stepped out of. I would feel torn between running away with the stolen money, and returning to Anil to seek forgiveness. Doubts, fear, and shame would crowd my thoughts. Deep inside, I would realize that more than money, what I truly needed was trust, honesty, and a chance to change my life. Now, third instant. The teacher who watched Boli speak up with courage described the teacher's feeling at that moment. Write about her pride, satisfaction, joy, and emotional response as she saw Boli transform into a confident girl, just like an artist admiring the completion of her masterpiece. As the teacher who watched Bholi speak up with courage, my heart would fill with immense pride and joy. I had seen Bholi grow from a shy, trembling girl who, who could barely speak her name to someone who now stood tall, confident, and unafraid to defend her dignity. At that moment, I would feel a deep, quiet satisfaction, the kind that comes from knowing that my patience, support, and belief in her had helped her discover her own strength. Standing in the corner, I would watch her with the with shining eyes, overwhelmed by emotions. Her voice, steady and fearless, would feel like music to my ears. I would feel the same happiness an artist feels while admiring the final strokes of a beautiful masterpiece. Boli's transformation was not just her victory, it was also a reaffirmation of the power of education, kindness, and encouragement. Seeing her reject injustice with firmness would make me proud beyond words. I would realize that she no longer needed anyone to speak for her. She had found her own voice. In that moment, I would feel grateful to have played even a small part in shaping her future. Watching her stand up for herself would be the greatest reward a teacher could ever receive. So we completed question 37 A part means description. In next video we will continue question number 37 B part information transfer. Now see topics means instant. You can see here 1 to 9 instance. By reading this you try it on your own. Thank you for watching.